Hello everyone. Today we'll talk about the population growth models. So currently in the NCERT we have to study two types of model. The very first model is exponential growth model, and the second type of model that we have to study is logistic growth models. So let's talk about these two models one by one. First we'll talk about the exponential model here. So according to this model, the resources in the environment are unlimited. When we talk about resources means the food and the shelter space are unlimited. So that is why it shows the growth rate as geometric growth. If we talk about the equation of this growth model, it shows dn by dt, differential equation, the growth of the population in time t is equals to birth rate minus death rate, b minus d, multiplied by n. N is the population size. So let's suppose this b minus d, let's suppose I have taken this as r. So the new equation would be dn by dt is equals to Rn. Here R stands for intrinsic rate of natural increase. This is a very important parameter. This R is a very important parameter because it tells us about the impact of biotic and abiotic factors on population growth. Like how these two factors are affecting the size of the population. When we in some time we'll draw the graph on the basis of this equation. So the graph would be a J-shaped graph. Let's talk about the second type of model, which is the logistic growth model. Now this model is quite realistic because this model tells us that the resources in the environment are limited and the survival of the species would be limited. So it tells us that the resources are limited and it is not unlimited in nature as we were told in exponential growth. It is more realistic. So it tells us that no population can grow exponentially in the environment. If we talk about its equation is dn by dt is equals to Rn, as we have studied previously. It adds a few additional things. It shows k minus n upon k, and this is the entire equation of logistic growth. Now let's talk about this equation. This equation here, k is the carrying capacity. This carrying capacity means, so every environment or every habitat had some limited resources so that it can support a particular maximum number of individuals. This is called carrying capacity. So this equation is also known as Verhulst-Pearl logistic growth. This is very important because sometimes in the board exams they can ask about this equation and you have to write about the logistic growth only. So let's draw the graph of these two equations. I'll draw the graph here now. This y-axis shows us the population density. It shows us the population density, which is shown by n, In x-axis, we'll draw time, t. So let's talk about both the equation. The very first equation where the exponential growth or the geometric growth was showing, where the resources were unlimited. So it shows the equation, it shows the line like this. So in very short duration of time, the growth of the population is growing exponentially. This is the first graph, dn by dt is equals to rn. Right? Now let's talk about the second type of growth equation, which was the logistic growth. Now according to this growth model, it is like this. So at some point of time, the population will be stable. The population shall be stable here. This means this point on the population density, this is k. K is the carrying capacity. K is the carrying capacity here. This is the number of population density which is stable at a particular time, because the resources are limited here. So this is our first equation. Now this is the graph for second equation, dn by dt is equals to rn k minus n upon k. So this is all about today. This is all about population growth models. I hope you like this video and you understand the content. Have a great day.